Hey all, good Monday morning. We're going live to do a little explanation. I've had plenty of questions as I set up training plans and workouts and training peaks. And there's kind of different methodologies when you're setting up workouts. Some people do it by distance, people do it by time, intervals, and that type of thing. My workouts and plans, things I put in there for my athletes, we kind of go by both. So it could be by time or it could be by distance. Most of the swims are by distance. There's some workouts that are by time, but for the most part, those aren't as much of an issue. So if you pull up a workout in Training Peaks on the desktop app, I'm going to just show you there. Or if you pull it up on your phone and kind of look, I do have the disclaimer. So let's say you're doing a bike-based work. And I usually have this little blurb in here. Distance and speed is estimated. Follow workout directions and ignore estimated speed and distance. PDF of workout attached. So if you pull this workout up on your phone or desktop or wherever to take a look, unfortunately it looks out of focus here on the phone, but going live. But if you see, you look, you got to warm up 10 minutes, repeat zone 3, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, 3-4 times, recovery. So this workout is based off of time. So 4 minutes, 30 seconds, 10 minutes, 1 minute, and then effort. So your zone 4, zone 3, whatever. So what I mean by that is when I program this workout and I create this workout, it's all based on time. So it automatically calculates a duration in the program. So when I build this on Training Peaks side, it calculates all this when I put this together and put up all this work. It calculates the time, and I put in an estimated time or an estimated distance. I apologize for that. So what I'm doing is if it didn't do it, so if I'm putting together a workout, if you look at this run workout or this bike max out set, so I built this according to time. So it calculates the total time, but there is no distance. So if you look at your total duration of time for the week, you look at your distances, it may not add up right because the bike distance, we got 12 hours and 53 minutes for this week, but you've only got a bike distance of 17 miles. So what happens is when I build a workout and I put my workouts in my workout library, I drag them over here to build people's workouts and their training plans, it doesn't carry over the distance. So I have to just kind of estimate, well, maybe 17 miles, maybe you get 18. So it calculates an average speed. So that does not mean in these workouts you need to achieve an average speed of 16.6 miles an hour. It does not mean you need to ride to 18 miles. What this means is you need to pay attention to the actual workout. You open up your PDF or you run on Zwift or whatever, you pay attention to the actual sets and you do them as it's described here. You do not do it according to distance and average speed. So save and close. So then it adds distance and then your bike distance is a little more accurate. So this is a way, and this is another one. So I'm going to estimate it's going to take an hour for this workout. Maybe you get about 6 miles. And maybe you do it faster, maybe you do it slower. It doesn't really matter. The key is to do the workout per the direction. So this one is by time. So I estimate a distance and I automatically calculate an average speed. So at the end of the day, it's not as important to do the mileage. It's more important to follow the actual workout plan because here we got an aerobic run. It averaged, it calculated out to an hour and 50 minutes, say we do 10 miles, 11 miles. So maybe, I put in, and notice it could get crazy if you put in the wrong numbers for fat finger or something. So maybe an average pace of 10 minutes per mile. So I put it in there. And like I said, this is totally to get kind of a ballpark figure of what your totals are going to be close to for the week. You do not have to hit these. I'm going to average 10 minutes a mile, maybe do them faster, maybe do them slower. It really doesn't matter at the end of the day. So your total duration, I'm just making sure that I don't spike somebody. We go from 12 to 13. I'm making sure I don't go from 12 to 20 one week and get totally absurd with the workouts or something like that. So the key is you're either doing it by distance or you're doing by time because there are workouts here. If you go to transition, I've got one here, it's here by distance. I want you to do 11 miles. So the key is to do it by 11 miles. And I figure it takes you an hour and 50 minutes to do it. So I'm going to plug that in there, and that gives me, it correctly, kind of accurately estimates how much you're going to run the distance for the week. Otherwise, it would have shown like 7 miles. So that is the key for my workouts. When I put them in Training Peaks, I want to make sure that you guys understand if you're doing it by distance or you're doing it by intervals. So make sure that you're reading the workouts, you're reading the PDFs that are attached to all these workouts, and doing it by the instructions. So when I put in here duration and average pace is estimated, and I'm putting in a duration, I'm plugging it in there, and the distance should be by whatever the workout described is, and it comes up with average pace. That does not mean I don't want you doing workouts according to average pace. I don't want you doing them to the average speeds, but pay attention. If the workout calls out for distance, do it by distance. If it calls out by times, do it by times, and let the others just fall out where they fall out. So at the end of the day, do them by the directions in the workouts and the PDFs. You should be able to pull them up, and I did a little video on that, how to pull them up on your TrainingPeaks app in your phone. You can pull up the attachments and pull it up on your phone so you actually see the workouts too. So if you're doing swims by the pool and you just want to do it in your phone, you can go to the workout, and they all should be attached in there. So I just want to kind of go over that real quick. I know a lot of people's have some questions about that. It's a mix for me. I do workouts by time, and other times I do it by distance. So like I said, it's called out in the directions of the workouts. I've got an hour 5 here, base work, drill sets, 3,000 options. So I put them in yards, but if you're doing a meter pool, do it 3,000 meters. I call out this one as an estimated 3 hours and 50 miles. Other times, if you're going, this one right here is a 40-mile bike ride. So I want you to do 40 miles. Maybe it takes you 2:15, maybe it takes you 3 hours, but I want you to do 40 miles. So make sure that you're going in here and you're doing the workouts according to what's called out in the directions and not by the average pace and estimated speed. Now, there is a caveat. Let's say you're going for a Boston Marathon qualifying time. Then we're going to force you to do a little bit harder work because we're going for an average pace because you've got to hit that in order to qualify. So there's a little bit of a give and go or a give and take when you're setting up workouts and training plans and stuff. But I'll make sure you guys understand. Do them by what's called out in the directions of the workout. Pull up the PDF. Find out what's going on in the workout and do it by time. And then realize that everything else is just estimated because as a coach or as putting together a training plan, I'm making sure that I'm cycling you up correctly and we're not putting on too much work too quickly. We're not going from 50 miles on a bike to 100 miles the next week. We're not, or doing too little. If there's a week where it's only 75 miles, but you're in the biggest build phase of an Ironman training plan, you're not doing 50 miles in 1 week. You're doing what you should be, 150, 120, whatever. So the summary is make sure that you pull up the PDFs of each workout and find out what you should be doing or read the directions in the workouts because some is just by distance. So this one's pretty straightforward. Zone 2, 10 miles. You're just out there and staying in zone 2. You're running your distance, and you want to do 10 miles exactly, and I've estimated duration, and it automatically calculates an average pace. So nothing crazy. Nice little warm-up, a cool-down. Make sure you're doing dynamic warm-ups and static stretches at the end. And that's kind of the summary and what I wanted to kind of get out there for you guys when you're looking at the training plans that I put together. If you have any questions, as always, comment on posts, send me a message, and I'll get back to you. Have a good Monday.